And we begin tonight with breaking news in the West Valley, where surprise police are on the scene of a crash. Sky 12 flying over the intersection of Greenway and Litchfield Road. Surprise police say that a driver ran a red light in that intersection before crashing into two other cars.
Let's bring you some live pictures from the scene. You can see there is heavy damage to those cars in the road. One of them caught fire when the collision occurred. Police say 4 people have been rushed to the hospital. Right now, the extent of their injuries is unknown. That intersection is expected to remain closed for the next few hours as police investigate.
A lawsuit filed by a Sun Security employee alleges the arena has failed security assessments multiple times. The employee claims PHX Arena is highly vulnerable, pointing to reports showing that assessors managed to bring in guns and knives on multiple occasions. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono has obtained some of those reports detailing several major mistakes by arena security. She's live outside the arena tonight. And Bianca, how are the Suns responding to this?
Well, a Sun spokesperson says the allegations in this lawsuit are categorically false, but right now they are not responding to the specific details in these field reports, which highlight some major security failures. Reports obtained by 12 News reveal security breaches at PHX Arena. The incidents happened during field tests, which Phoenix police say the venue requests. They're conducted by plainclothes officers with the department's Homeland Defense Bureau, and they show up to the arena on a Suns game day with a ticket. Part of the test, see if they can sneak in any prohibited items. During a December 2023 test, security officials successfully detected a pocket knife on one of the undercover officers. But 2 others on the team managed to walk through with medium-sized knives. Records show another field test happened just 2 months later, conducted by a private investigations firm. This time, an assessor was again able to bring in a knife. And in a third test, done in December of 2024, the report says 2 people on a Phoenix PD field intelligence team walked into the arena armed with 9mm pistols. How concerning is that to you?
It's very concerning.
Stan Kephart is a retired chief of police and security expert. He reviewed all 3 reports and says these types of stress tests are imperative.
Oftentimes we find that technology, while good, is not being operated correctly, which is a person failure, if you will, that is attributed to training.
According to the December 2024 report, one assessor managed to bring the gun in after telling a security screener he had a metal rod in his leg. That employee did not want him after being told that, effectively allowing him to walk in with a firearm.
Bad people and good people both will use those kinds of excuses. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're valid.
These security reports were mentioned in a lawsuit filed by a Suns employee, the director of Safety, Security, and Risk Management. In response to the lawsuit, a Suns spokeswoman said the attorney representing the employee is inexperienced and is leveling false allegations, saying she and her client have made absurd accusations of misconduct surrounding the security department of the Phoenix Suns. These allegations are delusional and categorically false. The statement did not address the findings from the field tests.
We have to be 100% effective.
One of the reports includes recommendations, staff training and vigilance, regular audits, and screening equipment calibration. Kephart agrees because he says all it takes is one failure.
A tragic event could have occurred from that failure.
And we've asked the Sun spokesperson if they've taken any of the recommendations offered up in those reports. They have not answered that question. We're live in Phoenix tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Bianca, thanks. Tonight we're getting new video of a traffic stop that escalated into a fight and ultimately a police shooting of a suspect. According to court documents, 46-year-old Sam Perrone was originally pulled over for a traffic violation. He then got out of the car and started yelling at the officer and then punched him before reaching for the officer's gun at least 3 times. The officer pulled his gun, but the magazine falls out in the scuffle. He was able to fire the only bullet that was still in the chamber, hitting Perrone in the leg. Barone has been released from the hospital and has now been booked on felony charges.
Now to Surprise, where police are investigating after a body was found in a church parking lot. Details are still limited, but police say that the body was found near 113th Avenue and Bell Road. Police haven't said if foul play was involved, adding that they're waiting on more information from the medical examiner. Stay with 12 News for more updates.
A Mesa mother is behind bars tonight for allegedly trying to kill her 8-year-old son who has disabilities. Prosecutors say that 36-year-old Erica Encinas tried to drown, choke, and hit her son with a rock. Somehow the boy survived that attack, but then Encinas went after him again, this time with a piece of floor tile. A sibling saw what was happening and intervened before she could injure the child even more. Encinas is now facing multiple felony charges, including attempted murder.
New at 10, a group of thieves is caught on camera flashing guns and stealing cars. Avondale police say that at least 4 cars were taken and several others were burglarized. And tonight, those suspects are still on the run. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is joining us in a neighborhood near Avondale Boulevard and Lower Buckeye Road, where some of these crimes happened.
You can even see the aftermath. One homeowner we spoke with said he got home from work at about 4 o'clock in the morning when he noticed this giant hole in his backyard fence. He said his neighbor's car was stolen, crashed into his fence, and then took off. Multiple break-ins and cars stolen.
It's just heartbreaking.
All in one night.
That's bad.
Avondale police tell us into the early morning hours Monday, they received 13 different 911 calls about these incidents, all in the same area. This video shows a group of 4 all wearing hoodies to cover up their faces, pulling one member of the group out from a Hyundai after they kicked in the window and laughed. The homeowner says they stole some items from inside and believes they tried to steal the car. Broken glass could still be seen outside the home a day later. Police telling us this was one of 3 cars that the thieves attempted to steal. In that same neighborhood, we found 2 other cars that were damaged. Both were Hyundais. This one also had its passenger window broken. We spoke with another victim who says her car was stolen but didn't want to go on camera. She showed us these photos of the damage and how they got the car to start. She says the suspects then backed out and crashed into her neighbor's wall before taking off. She tells us her car was found at a nearby gas station. Then less than a mile away, there's this video showing what appears to be the same people trying to get into these cars but couldn't. What really frightened the homeowner was when one of the suspects walked up to the camera and showed the gun they were carrying with them.
It's a whole nother level.
Putting neighbors on edge. Many of them keep their cars out on the street.
So if it was me, I would have come out shooting.
Unsafe and very worried for our future kids and our neighbors.
I hope they can catch them and nip it in the bud.
While at least 4 stolen cars were found, neighbors are making sure to keep their doors locked.
Got to be more alert at night. It's not just for the cars, but for the family.
Police also said there were 5 instances of people leaving their cars unlocked, with those thieves simply opening up the doors and taking whatever they could inside. A good reminder to always make sure your doors are locked and that alarm is set. We're in Avondale. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Looking ahead to Thursday, Scottsdale Mayor Lisa Borowski is set to host a town hall. She's looking to hear from residents and talk about some important issues facing the community. The event is free for the public to attend, so if you're interested, it's happening at the Mustang Library from 5:30 to 6:30 on Thursday. You can also submit questions ahead of time to the Scottsdale Chief of Staff. You can send them to the email that you see there on your screen.
Tonight, we're meeting the candidates trying to fill the Southern Arizona Congressional seat that was held for years by the late Raul Grijalva. Grijalva died from lung cancer in March after 22 years in Congress. Tonight, PBS hosted the race's first televised debate. 12 News journalist Bram Resnick has some of the big takeaways.
Let's start with a trip to the 7th Congressional District. Tucson and Pima County are the district's core, with 64% of the voters. It cuts north through Pinal County all the way up to the western suburbs of Maricopa County, where there's 13% of the vote. Farther south, the 7th hugs Arizona's 375-mile border with Mexico, taking in every port of entry, from Douglas west to Yuma. This is a majority Latino district and a safe Democratic seat. Raul Grijalva was among the most progressive members of Congress. His daughter, Adelita Grijalva, a former Pima County Board supervisor and longtime school board member, is a favorite to succeed him. She has the support of Arizona's 2 U.S. senators, Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego. Former state lawmaker Daniel Hernandez and 25-year-old social media influencer Deja Fox are mounting competitive campaigns. The debate target was the perceived frontrunner, Adelita Grijalva. Hernandez attacked her support for a failed sales tax increase, and Grijalva fired back.
The reality is people like Adelita tried to raise taxes just a couple weeks ago in the city of Tucson. When we are in the height of inflation and people are hurting, the height of being out of touch was trying to raise people's taxes, and it failed 70-30 in Tucson.
I think that when we're talking about siding with and fighting for our ideals and values as a Democrat, you voted 45 times with Republicans against Democrats.
I want to get the...
We've seen young people go to apathy and to the other side, and it has everything to do with our inability to speak directly to them. 39% of adults under 30 here in the U.S. get their news on TikTok, and yet I have been belittled by people on this stage for my presence on the platform.
The 2 other Democratic candidates on the debate stage were former business executive Patrick Harris Sr. and Jose Malvito Jr., who says he's running because he's fed up with Congress and politicians. Early voting in the special primary election starts June 18th. Bram Resnick, 12 News.
All right, Bram, thank you.